Welcome to episode 8 of Career Pro Tips by Life in the Green Room. Life in the Green Room is all about helping busy professionals who want more from their career. We offer action-oriented, tool-based plans to help you start moving your career in the direction that you want to go. Career Pro Tips is our weekly series of videos where we dive into a simple tip or strategy that you can implement right now to start making change. My name is Heather Green McLinn, and I'm the Vice President of Marketing at a Fortune 500 company. I've used these tools. I've seen my peers use them, I've seen my team use them, and I know with some intentional thought and planning, you can move your career in the direction you want to. Today, for episode 8, we're going to dive into, I have to go to a conference. How do I get the most out of it? At some point in your career, likely you're going to be asked to attend a conference. And these conferences could be for anything. They could be specific to a software that you're working on in your job. They could be functional specific, like an HR conference. They could be about your sector or your industry and many other topics. So when you have an opportunity to go to a conference, how do you actually take advantage of that and make the most of it versus just taking 3 days out of the office and kind of going through it nonchalantly? There are some concrete tips to make sure that you get great value out of that. And so I'm going to structure this as far as pre-conference, during the conference, and post-conference. Pretty straightforward. So pre-conference, the first thing I want you to do is have a 5-minute conversation with your boss or whoever nominated you to go to this conference and ask them what are the key things they want you to focus on or learn while you're there. Just make sure you have at a high level, what are the ideas that they were interested in you capturing? Now, if you nominated yourself and got approval, I still want you to have that meeting. I want you to say what you want to learn and make sure that you guys are in alignment. So that's your first thing to do before the conference. Have a quick conversation with your boss. The second thing I want you to do is get an agenda for the conference. Usually, long before the conference, they have a high-level agenda that's set out. Get a copy of that so you can study it. And then go back and get it when the detailed one comes out that shows you the sessions that are going to be held. Is there breakout sessions? Is it all keynotes? Are there different things you want to focus on? Go through that and highlight the ones that you make sure that you want to hit. Also, when that comes out, often if you either email someone or you poke around, you will find they've also put out a list of people who will be there. Maybe not their names, but the end user customers that are going to be there, the suppliers, the customers, the sponsors, the vendors. All that stuff's usually out if you ask and poke around the website of the show. Go through that and identify people or companies that you want to make contact with while you're there. That's a great thing about a conference that you really want to take advantage of. Who are the other end users there that maybe you can talk about best practices with? Are there vendors you want to evaluate? Are suppliers or customers you need to talk to? Get that organized and identify the people you want to speak with. Even better, start to reach out to them now and say, hey, I'm going to be at the show. Let's meet during this networking break, or let's meet during this happy hour after the session is over. If possible, get some of those lined up ahead of time. So before the event, that's what you need to do. Get yourself a plan of what you want to accomplish from learning perspective and also from who you want to talk to. Now let's move into the while you're at the show. The first thing I want you to focus at while you're at the conference is to actually make sure you're engaged at the conference. As much as possible, try to not be on email all day, not be on the phone all day back at the office. Take the opportunity to learn, and the best way to do that is actually to be engaged and focused at the conference when you're there. So maybe that means you have to set up some plans ahead of time to have somebody cover for you, but that's my first tip. Try to actually stay focused at the conference. The second tip that I would want you to focus on is to make sure you talk to other people. I've seen this happen too many times. If you go to a show with a few of your colleagues you're really close with, you go to the entire conference and you barely talk to anybody else. You're missing out on a key learning opportunity and a key networking opportunity if you do that. So push yourself and make sure that you put yourself out there, start conversations with other people, make sure you're getting acclimated with everybody there. Now we're still at the show and you're trying to focus on it and you're trying to talk to other people. I want you to take notes during the sessions that you are attending. You identified what your learning objectives were, so get in there and dig deep and figure out what you're supposed to be learning. The other thing I want you to do is at least once, maybe twice a day, reference that list you made of learning objectives and people you want to talk to make sure that you're reaching out to everybody and you're checking all of your boxes. If it's the halfway through the conference and you have only reached one person on your list of customers and suppliers and end users you wanted to talk to, get going. The reason I want you to look at this list during your time at the show is because if you wait till the end, you might have missed your whole opportunity. So check in with yourself so you have time to course correct. The last thing I want you to do while you're at the show is take good notes about things that you want to do after the show. So if you're in a session and something really interesting has come up, but you want to dive deeper and learn more, make a note of that. If you want to follow up with somebody that you met there, make a note of that. That way, when you go into the last phase, which is post-conference, it's really simple. After the conference, your action items are pretty much follow up on all the notes that you took. So if you wanted to learn more about a particular topic, Google it, attend a webinar, call the person. If you wanted to set up some best practice sharing or talk to a customer or supplier deeper, or you had some action items with them, follow up on those and get them done. And that will make sure you have a very well-rounded, complete conference experience and you gained the most out of the opportunity that you could. Sometimes the conference, people have an attitude of like, oh, I'm just going to go through it. No, take advantage of that. Use it as a learning opportunity, a networking opportunity, and a growth opportunity. That's what I have for you on how to get the most out of attending a conference. I would love to hear what you have done to get the most out of one. Let me know. Leave a comment below about this or any other topic you'd like to have us covered. And please subscribe if you love getting weekly Career Pro tips. Until next week, here's to owning your career journey.